Broadcasting live from atop the Rocky Mountains, the crossroads of the West. You are listening to the Liberty Roundtable Radio Talk Show.
All right, back with you live, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Stockman, StockmanNow.com. He's just announced he's running. The third time's the charm in the readjusted district. They redistrict, then they fight it, then they go to court, then it gets shut down, then it gets brought back, and then it gets, codified? Is that how it is? I don't know. Anyway, they call me a rebel, says Steve, and if defending the Constitution and the personal liberty of every American citizen makes me a rebel, then I'm a rebel with a cause.
Amen.
Rebel with a cause. I dig it, man. I love it, Steve.
Well, it's funny. I've been signing off for years. It said, I'm taking it off, obviously, Marlon Brando movie, but I for years said I'm a rebel with a cause. And then one of my volunteers said to me, Steve, Franklin Graham wrote that book in the 90s. And I went, oh, no, he stole it from me before I knew I stole it from him.
Well, bright minds think alike. Let's just say it like that. Sheriff, I've got kind of an interesting thing. I've talked to Steve, and if he becomes the next congressman, we're going to broadcast Liberty Roundtable live from not the Oval Office, but from his congressional office, and I'd like to invite you to join us there.
I'll be the first one in line for that, Matt. I'll tell you that.
Wouldn't that be a great broadcast roundtable live?
Hey, Sam.
Yes, sir.
Sam, can I come to it too?
Yeah.
At your office? Absolutely.
We'll think about it. We'll have to let you know on that, Steve.
So, Steve, there's so many issues. Go ahead.
I think it would be a hoot. I think it would be really great, and we'd get so much publicity, and it will be a lot of fun. And I'll guarantee you, we'll be the first one to do it. And the next thing you know, there'll be other congressmen doing it, and they go, "Oh, they're so smart." They won't realize that we are the ones that first did it. And I think it'll become popular. I think it's a great idea.
I think it's a great idea, and I think it creates accountability. I think it creates direct relationship between our representatives and the people that they represent. I mean, this is huge opportunity. Donald Trump talks about the new media and talks about honest media telling the tale of truth, but yet he spends his time with the old guard media that seems to hate him at every turn. I find that fascinating, to say the least. But the new media will be taking center stage in Congress if you help at StockmanNow.com, ladies and gentlemen. So there's so many hot topics to discuss, Steve, and we don't have near enough time. What are going to be the hottest topics for you to focus on in Congress?
Well, in Congress, like I said, we got in our district, we have that Colony Ridge. We got to stop this. It's a demographic shift deliberately done, and it's not just done in the United States. If you guys follow on X some of the stuff that's going on in Europe and in Ireland, in fact, one Irish mayor actually came out and said if the Irish don't convert to Islam, they need to leave Ireland. I was like, what? We invite you into our home, and then you threaten us to kick us out of our own home.
That's because they focus on our ideals when they're the underdog. Once they become the lords and masters or think they have enough power, they pull out their real agenda, right?
Yeah, all these Christmas markets that are very popular in Europe, they've set off smoke bombs. They wrote "Free Palestine," and another guy tearing down Christmas trees and stuff. It said it's offensive that they need. And many of the cities have capitulated. Even in Oregon now, I heard that they had a lighting of a tree and they celebrate Indigenous Day in December. I don't know what that is all about. I don't know how that turned into a holiday in Oregon, but that's, some of the things that they got going on is eroding the culture of America. And we are the greatest compassionate nation in the world. And to destroy such a beautiful nation and to emulate countries which are such failures is mind-boggling. They go, we want to be like Somalia. The restaurant in Somalia, which was, Somalia, it really is, in Minneapolis, it was involved in billions of dollars in fraud.
Yeah, they call that Little Somalia, Steve.
Yeah, and the liberals went to the restaurant to support them, and they're ripping the taxpayers off, and they're like celebrating it. It's unbelievable. It's mind-boggling. It's really, I think Pat Buchanan I think he wrote the book Suicide of the West. I think it really summarizes what we're doing.
Boy, howdy,
he wrote
that the
one,
truth.
92.
He also highlighted the fact that the Republican and Democratic parties are really one uniparty, left and right wings of the same bird of prey. But anyway, I digress. Sheriff?
Well, yeah. Well, I wanted to get back to the thing, the topic we were talking about right before the break. You were referring to the event that happened at the 2013 conference. You were referring to the tornado, correct?
Yeah, it was hilarious. You guys are so funny. You were so casual. The tornado was coming, and the sheriff goes, "Let's go in the basement and protect ourselves." Which, by the way, I don't know if you remember this. It picked up a car and threw it over the hotel. It was like incredible.
Oh yeah,
From what I
insane.
understand.
And all we did is went in the hallway and got a stool, and
Yeah.
and the speaker stood up on the stool, man, and just delivered in the dark. It was great.
We kept
Yeah, that's what
going.
he was telling. He said, "Steve, you got to give your speech down here." I'm going, "What?" I said, "We're in the shelter."
Hey man,
It was
liberty must
such a great
liberty
time.
must
I'll
go
never
on, my
forget it.
friend.
Huh?
Hey, the
sacred
show must go
The
on.
show must go on.
Yeah. It was
That
pretty wild.
that just proves that the CSPOA conferences, we're not going to let a little thing like a tornado get in the way of what we're trying to accomplish to save America.
It's like tornado schmado. Let's. But we did. We told the tale of truth during the tornado. We're telling the tale of truth now, and we really got to focus on Stockman now, ladies and gentlemen, because the third time's the charm, and we need to really realize that. Look, we don't have time to mess around anymore. It's time for the American people to gird up their loins and get to business, get to work, make a difference. We can do this thing. They want you to believe that America's just off the rails forever. There is hope in God Almighty. There is hope in his servants who are willing to stand for the sacred cause of liberty, really no matter the cost. And that's really what we're talking about, Sheriff.
That's correct, and we're joking around a little bit with this.
Get
But
on
it
your
was
mic
actually
more.
true. Everything we were saying, it was actually true.
There you go.
And this is the thing: we must get good people in office, and this is vital
Man.
to save America. And Steve, I want to thank you and Patty for doing this and getting back in the game. You've been through it all. Both of you have been through so much, and God bless you as you stand for liberty and try to restore America to its greatness and to again protect the civil rights and God-given rights of every American in your district. And what's the number of the district that you're running in?
District 9 outside of Houston, and it's
Yes.
Around 800,000 people, but only about 30,000 people vote in the primary.
Well, God bless you and your good family, your good wife. God bless that district, and we are going to do everything to help you get back in. And man, oh man, thanks so much for running, and thanks for your courage. I really am proud to call you friend, but more importantly, I'm really proud that you're standing once again for God given American liberty and our constitutional republic. Thank you so much.
I got a personal
Well,
story
thank
I
you.
want to tell. I had called Steve after he got out of jail. His health wasn't so good at the time because they just beat him up in jail and didn't give him the proper care that he needed. COVID rifled through there. Anyway, I called Steve and I said, I'm going to end up in Houston, and I'm going to be, I can't remember how long, 2.5 hours away from the Woodlands area or whatever that I need to go to. And Steve, do you have any way to get me there? Steve goes, "Oh man, I'll take you." Him and his wife both took me. We went out to lunch and ate chicken, the best fried chicken my daughter, she was with us, has ever had. And he comes and he takes me to this event, and I'm like, "Steve, do you want to join us?" He's like, "Well, if that's all right." Okay, we need Americans like that don't think they're rock stars, that realize that, hey, we're all the American people. We work together. Congressmen and senators serve their districts. The constituents matter. And I'm just telling you some personal stories because I want you to know who Steve really is. Sheriff, I find that story. When was the last time a congressman just said, "Oh yeah, I'll drop my world and drive 5 hours for you," not even knowing if he's going to attend the event, and then I invite him, so they go, "Okay, we'd love to come too." But I'm just saying he wasn't even asking for anything at all, nothing.
That's the type of person we're dealing with here, and that's why you and I are so dedicated to his campaign and to his success. Um, we need more of them. What would America be like if we had dozens and dozens and hundreds of Steve Stockmans in Congress standing for the cause of liberty? I mean, yeah, this
Criminals
is the
would be
holy
going to
cause.
prison. patriots would be standing tall. I mean, we can just start going from there, right?
Yeah,
you guys are very, very touching. I sure appreciate those comments.
well,
In
Steve,
fact,
normal
I'm going
people
to take those.
would give up after almost 3 years in prison on trumped up fabricated charges and IRS baloney. And we have got to, this is what we've been calling President Trump to do. We have got to get the IRS abolished. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I agree. You know what was funny? While we were in prison, there's no Democrats, by the way, that were Democrat politicians locked up. They're all Republican and conservatives. I met a minister who was preaching against Obama. He got 3 years. There's another pastor, Zodhiates, who got time for, quote, kidnapping because he drove someone to the airport. And so we were there, and we ended up creating a group, and we drafted commercials for Trump's election in 2020, and Patty produced them. So we never gave up on our country, even though we were in prison.
I love it, ladies and gentlemen. Indict and prosecute to the full extent of the law Jack Smith. Abolish
Amen.
the IRS. Elect
Amen.
a rebel with a cause, StockmanNow.com, because he's standing for the sacred cause of liberty, which Sheriff Richard Mack, I hope I speak for you and myself, we highly endorse.
Amen.
There's a good old amen from everybody. Thank you, Patty, as well, Steve Stockman's dear wife. She's a rock star hero, I'll tell you that right now. StockmanNow.com, we'll have him back and keep up with his campaign, and we're looking forward to broadcasting from Capitol Hill in the Steve Stockman congressional offices. Thanks so much for being alongside for the ride. I'm Sam Bushman. God save our republic.